What's going on, beautiful people? Thank you for tuning in and for watching. I love you guys. I love every single one of you. Thank you for listening to my bullshit. I appreciate your appreciation of my bullshit. And in this video, a lot of people think they're ugly. We're gonna talk about that. Talk about people thinking of themselves as ugly, right? Physically, a lot of it, most of it is like, I'm physically ugly. I have an ugly face. I can't stand looking at my face in the mirror because it's so ugly. And I can't stand I'm ugly, I'm fat, I'm just an ugly person. And you go on Instagram and that doesn't fucking help because everybody seems to put their best picture, right? In their best day and, you know, try and show people that, hey, look at this avatar. It's physically attractive. It is a beautiful avatar. Look at this avatar, right? Everybody's trying to just put on an avatar. And you guys are all obviously know inner beauty, outer beauty, all that shit. But, you know, I want to talk a little bit about the outer, right? Like, a lot of people think they're physically ugly. You know, they have an ugly face or ugly body, etc., etc. This is what I want to sort of talk more about in this video. Now, I grew up as an ugly person, quote unquote, ugly. And so I'm going to put a thumbnail. I'm going to find an ugly picture of me and you're going to see, holy shit, Saeed, what the fuck? You're like a good looking guy now. What happened? And so I kind of understand what it's like to be ugly and how it feels like, in negative self-talk that you tell yourself. And, you know, you look at your face and you're like, this is fucking ugly. And, you know, you just really like feel terrible about yourself. And there's a lot of things I want to talk about here, man. I don't know where to start. Well, first thing first, the idea of ugliness is usually passed down to us by a set of belief of someone else. It could be your parents who thought you're ugly and, you know, told you, you know, you're not beautiful or whatever, hinted it and you as a child picked it up. Maybe they kept telling you, you know, your sister is better looking than you or your brother is better looking than you. And so you start to compare and you look at your brother and you see everybody's admiring their beauty. You know, when people come in and they visit you, they see, oh, you know, they give your sister more attention because she's more beautiful. You know, again, she appears more beautiful to that society because beauty, it really is standards of beauty are different from one society to another. Really, they're different. They're completely different, right? One society might view this beautiful, another society might view this ugly. So even when like your relatives or whatever come in and they give your sister more attention than you, well, that's maybe because your sister in that society seems more beautiful. Maybe if you go to another society, you will get more of the attention. So that's another thing. It's very subjective, very, you know, so we get this idea that we're ugly from someone else, from a culture that we're in that has different beauty standards, from an external thing. Somebody told you your nose is too big. You know, I know someone close to me who suffered for a long time. They thought their nose is too big, and she thought, it's a woman, she thought she was ugly, you know, and she's absolutely that gorgeous. Oh my God. And she realized it and she accepted it and she makes fun of her nose now, right? But you know, this woman that I'm talking about, she's absolutely gorgeous, but for the longest time she thought she was ugly. She really did. And, you know, I thought I was ugly growing up because, you know, I would be compared to some of my more good-looking cousins at the time, right? And I thought I was ugly, so then I grew up with this. Now, the problem is when you start to tell yourself the story of I'm ugly, this is the problem. Now you start to do what an ugly person would. I'm an ugly person. Why should I give a fuck? Nobody loves me. I'm ugly. People look at me and they get disgusted. All right, fuck it. I'm gonna just eat shitty food. I'm gonna get fat. I'm gonna get miserable. I don't give a fuck. Everyone thinks I'm ugly anyway. So the story starts with you're actually probably in all likelihood like a decent looking person, right? Starts to with your society and your culture comparing you to someone else. Right? Your sister or your friends or your cousins or whatever, right? Now, okay, you're starting to think I'm ugly. All right, and you obviously go on TV. Let's say you're a girl, you go on TV, you see these beautiful girls that are, you know, bazillion fucking surgeries and a bazillion fucking makeup here. It's like a fucking powder factory on their face, and you're like, oh my god, you know, you feel really ugly. You know, in likelihood, you're probably really beautiful. You know, that's what's really sad, is like a lot of these people that think they're ugly, they're actually beautiful. Like, even physically, I'm talking. You know, I'm talking physically, they're beautiful. And then, you know, your mind, of course, mind manifests into physical reality. Mind comes first. Your mind starts to tell yourself the story of I'm ugly. So you start to do stuff that, you know, you're ugly. Why should you give a fuck? You start to get fat. You don't take care of yourself. You don't eat healthy. You don't sleep enough. You start to get depressed. You start to, you know, so then you actually start to have like a lower vibration. You actually start to be an actual ugly person. An actual ugly person is just someone that is dead on the inside, right? It's that's like you're dead on the inside. So at first it starts off as regular, like whatever, but then at some point you just become deadened on the inside because you just stop caring. You're like, I'm ugly, why should I give a fuck? And then it's a self-fulfilling prophecy. You end up being dead on the inside. You end up being empty on the inside. And then that ugliness just becomes your dominant way of being. Why? Because you bought someone else's story of saying you're ugly. You know, it's really, it's sad what happens, right? This constant comparison game and you know, this constant, having to keep up with the beauty standard of the society you're in, which is always changing. You go back to the fucking Marilyn Monroe, her days, right? It was like a busty woman, you know, big titties, big ass, right? That was the beauty standards. And then it changed. In the 90s, it was about being a skinny, that's models, right? Skinny little thing. Nowadays, I don't fucking know. I think it's changing every 2 seconds. You know, I don't know. But the problem is it's subjective, right? It's really subjective. That's the problem. So then now you're telling yourself you're ugly, you manifest it. Eventually you do become ugly, which is an ugly, when you become ugly, it's just you're dead on the inside. That's what ugly is. Ugliness is lack of beauty, right? Darkness is the absence of light. Ugliness is lack of beauty. You don't see beauty in yourself. You don't see beauty in life anymore. You don't see beauty in anything. So you actually end up becoming ugly. You're just now, you're a conduit for you're lacking beauty, perception of beauty in the world. Therefore, you become ugly. Ugliness is just the absence of beauty, right? So if you think you're ugly, you just need to bring in more beauty into your life. Then you become beautiful and everything becomes beautiful. Now, I used to be ugly, right? And hopefully the thumbnail has convinced you of that, because I have some pretty ugly pictures. So how did I change that? Because like now you look at me, I'm a pretty fucking good looking guy, right? And I get it told to me all the time. And you know, but I actually think the reason why I'm good looking, quote unquote, is because it comes down to 2 things, really. Really, for me, speaking of just my experience. One, I take diligent care of my health. And I think, here's what I think, guys. I think if you take care of your health, literally 98% of people will end up being good looking and beautiful. That's what I actually think. Because I legit think 98% of humanity, maybe 99% even, is actually decent looking, is actually good looking. And I think if you take care of your health, and you get a good body, fit body, and you have like healthy hormones, you know, you're healthy, you're a healthy being, you know, you emanate this healthy vibe, this healthy energy. I actually legit think, physically speaking, purely on a physical level here, I legit think 98, 99 of all of humanities will become a bunch of good looking people. Seriously, like I actually think a human being is a good looking thing. That's what I think. Now there's that other 2%, man. You might be born with like an abnormally big jaw or something that really stands out, that no matter what kind of health you take care of or whatever, right? Then it's there. You know, that's part of your character. And that's true. I'm not gonna fucking sit here and deny it. I'm not gonna give you some bullshit here saying, no, everyone is like, no. Some people are like, you know, I would say 1 to 2% of humanity, you have something that really, like, no matter where in the world you go, it just stands out. You know, it's not the standards, maybe a really like big jaw or like something abnormal, right? Something really completely abnormal that just completely stands out. And it's like, no matter what you do, you can fucking take care of your health. Maybe, like, you know, maybe you're really like, you're a fucking midget. Maybe you're 3 feet tall, right? I mean, really, that's gonna stand out wherever you go. You know what I mean? And all right, so then that we're gonna talk about, okay? Because we need to deal with that as well, because that's part of your journey. So, but I think, for most of you guys watching, 90, I think 98% of humanity is beautiful. Just take care of your health, number one, right? Because what happens is when you tell yourself stories of you being ugly for maybe having a big nose or being shorter than average, like I did growing up, or whatever, right? Or maybe you were more of a chubby kid and everybody made fun of you and told you you're ugly. So now you're ugly, so now you became this really big giant kid. Right? Because you thought you're ugly and boom, you just let yourself go. I think if you take care of your health, if everybody takes care of their health, honestly, I think most humans are beautiful. I actually look at a human being, I'm like, this fucking human being is nice. It's a beautiful thing. It's a beautiful thing, right? So that's number one, really what helped me, right? Number two, positive energy and smile, right? I'm a dude who smiles a lot, who emanates a lot of positive energy. And I think when I started doing that, I even think, honestly, this sounds really fucking ridiculous, I think something in my face changed. I really think so. I think over time, over years and years of smiling, okay, and over years of laughter, and I still do every day, laughter. I laugh my ass off every day, man. I think life is a funny joke. So I laugh. I find humor in everything. I actually think that over the years changed some of my facial structure and made this face, this good looking face, right? I know it, but also lots of people tell me you're a good looking guy. I really think if you can emanate positive energy and smile more and laugh, fuck, you'll become beautiful, bro. You become a fucking good looking dude, a good looking gal. I swear to God. You take care of your health and you start to emanate positive energy, you're fucking good looking. You're pretty. Seriously. Honestly, that's prettiness. That's good looking. You become good looking is smiling, good looking is being positive, good looking is laughter. You actually become good looking. Right? You become good looking. So smile more, laugh more, and be positive. And watch even your face fucking changes, man. It sounds ridiculous, but even something in your face changes, some structure, something happens over the years. Because if you laugh more and you smile a lot, the face changes, it becomes good looking. And we are attracted to smiling. We are attracted to people who laugh. That's good looking. Okay, so those two things, you do those two things, man, you're beautiful. Most people are beautiful. I swear to God, I mean it. I genuinely mean it. Most people, vast majority of humanity, is beautiful. You just live naturally, do things natural way, and there's a lot of beauty in there. Now, again, we're just talking superficial here, right? Superficial, which in all fairness, a lot of times it tells. A good-looking person that's smiling a lot and laughing a lot, people want to be around that person. They're good-looking because of that. Because of that. And I know some people in the beauty standards, and again, it's subjective. That's the thing. I know certain people in the beauty standards of where I live right now, they're not exactly beautiful, right? But I look at them, I'm like, fuck, you're a good-looking dude, or you're a good-looking gal. To me, they are, because I see the positivity, I see the smiling, I see them in my eyes. Beauty is in the eye of the beholder. I'm like, these are good-looking people. These are pretty people. And I think that's because just the energy they emanate, right? The energy they emanate, they become, beauty is in the eye of the beholder, perception, right? I think it's the most important thing. If you can just be positive and smile and laugh, you trust me, sooner than later, you'll become in that good-looking club, which is, believe it or not, is not an exclusive club. It's an all-inclusive. I think 99% of all humanity belongs in that club. Just do things right. Eat healthy, be healthy, exercise, move, get a good body, a fit body, and smile and laugh and be positive. And watch yourself turn beautiful, because you are beautiful. Ugliness is just the absence of beauty. So then you start to tell yourself the story of I'm beautiful. You start to look at yourself and say, wow, I am a beautiful being, This is a beautiful face, and this is beautiful hands, and This is a beautiful body. I have this beautiful body here. And you tell yourself the stories of being beautiful. Then you start to act upon it, right? You start to exercise, eat healthy, smile. Smiling is beautiful, right? Smiling is beautiful. Laughter is beautiful. And then you start to do these things and you become beautiful. And you become a place to attract beauty. The people who are like born super good looking, you know, like see a girl, she's 12 years old, she's already like getting introduced by models, right? Recognize something, that woman right there, or even the guy, in that society they're born in, they're how they look is considered like top notch. So the modeling agencies come and we want to sign you because in that society. But maybe if you put them in a different society, they may be average there. Right? They may not have the modeling agency of that country or that culture coming up to them and saying, we want to sign you. You have the perfect figure. Yeah, you know? Because some cultures, maybe you're a girl here, you have the perfect figure for a model. But maybe in another culture, you're not. So just recognize even those super good looking people, right? In your culture, they're just that in your culture. You understand what I'm saying? And they may be in other cultures, but in other cultures, they may not be that super good looking standard, right? Recognize that this is all subjective anyway, which is why I say literally, I think the good looking club is an all-inclusive club. 99% of the people belong there. My perception on it, honestly, is what I think. You know, because I think if it's so subjective, and if each culture has its own beauty standards, then who's to say what's beautiful and what's not? Really, who's to say what's beautiful and what's not then? Now, I want to talk about the 1 to 2% of people that, you know, it just seems like no matter where you go, there is something abnormal. I want to be as honest, as transparent here. You know, it's there. There's some people there that are just, they're always going to be physically challenged, physically ugly, wherever they go, right? And I think of those people as super fucking strong souls that on purpose chose these avatars that have these faults in them, right? By the standards of humanity, and still choose to be in that anyway. You know what I mean? Like maybe you have some sort of an abnormality, or you grew up with like a fucking giant forehead or giant jaw or something, right? Really, you're fucking midget, you're 3 feet. Right, I think of that as a strong fucking willed soul. I mean, to choose that, to come into this world like that, with that kind of physical handicap, right? That people look at you and you know, they feel weird or whatever. You, my friends, if you're watching this, you have a fucking, I think of these people, you have a great purpose here, honestly. You know, and I see people like that. You know, I follow a guy on Instagram, he doesn't have legs. He doesn't have in one side doesn't have anything. No arms, no leg. I don't know how he lost it. And he does bodybuilding, so he does it on one side. I can't forget his name. And the guy's fucking incredible. He's an inspirational guy. Right? You know, he could have easily looked at him and be like, I'm fucking ugly here now. I'm ugly. I'm ugly. You know, he could have looked at that and said, I'm ugly. And he would have been right to say that. He doesn't have fucking, you know, no arm, no leg, you know, I'm ugly. But the guy decided, hey, you know what? Nah, this is for a reason. You know, I'm strong. I'm stronger than that. You know, and so he becomes like inspiration, a source of inspiration for people, right? Beautiful person. I look at him when I see him on Instagram. I'm like, oh, fucking beautiful, good-looking dude. Beautiful person. Just the energy, just the way he is, the way he chose to what to do with the card that he's dealt with. You see, the way he just, that's it, right? That's it. So for you guys who, you know, maybe it's a genuine thing, right? And it's a small percentage of people. For you guys who it's a genuine thing, you're strong-willed, you're strong people. This is for a reason. You choose this faulty avatar with this handicap for a reason, because you're fucking strong. I wish I was as strong as you. I wish my soul, my consciousness was as strong as you, to be able to fucking even choose this spawn, this incarnation, and having to deal with it. So that's it. Hopefully that you know, sheds some light on this matter of being ugly, because nobody's ugly. Nobody. Truth is nobody is ugly. And if you can just start to see yourself as beautiful and see the real you, really, beneath it all, beneath all the superficial bullshit, the real you, I'm talking about the you that is eternal, the you, the being, then we're all beautiful. You know, if we can all just fucking go on some fields and take psychedelics and realize we're all beautiful, that'd be a fantastic world to live in. Because we are beautiful. If it shows you the real you, the real thing, you're beautiful. Everybody's beautiful, right? The being, the awareness is beautiful. And I think these people, like the example I'm talking about, the guy that doesn't have like anything on his on one of his sides, either right or left, and you know, he's a beautiful person because he realized my being is strong, and I'm gonna fucking like build muscles on this side, right? This is my being. He shows the beauty, the strength in his being. Now you look at him like, what a beautiful person. I legit like, I'm like, fucking good looking guy, beautiful person, right? Because he realizes the beauty in his being. And if you can realize the beauty in your being, this doesn't matter so much anymore. You know, it doesn't matter so much. It's still always gonna matter, but it doesn't matter so much anymore. Energy becomes everything. And when you have good energy and you put out good vibes, trust, in no time, you become a beautiful person. You'll join that good-looking club because that's really what it is. You know, we're mental beings, we're spiritual beings having a human experience, right? Anyway, that's it. I'll finish up the rant here. That's it. I love you guys. I love every single one of you. Just keep telling yourself you're beautiful and watch you become beautiful and start to admire beauty in other people and admire beauty in nature and admire your own beauty and just watch. The world becomes a beautiful place. And as always, don't forget to subscribe or you're gonna sleep with the fishes.